And Quiet Flows the Don by Mikhail Sholokhov stands as a monumental work of 20th century literature. It chronicles the lives of Don Cossacks during a period of immense upheaval in Russia. The narrative spans roughly a decade. It covers the final years of peace before World War I. It continues through the Great War itself. Then it portrays the Russian Revolution and the subsequent brutal civil war. Sholokhov paints a vast canvas. He depicts the destruction of a traditional way of life. He explores the profound impact of historical forces on individuals and families. The novel won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1965. It is celebrated for its epic scope. Its realistic portrayal of Cossack culture is noteworthy. Its exploration of human passion and suffering is powerful. The historical setting is crucial to understanding the novel. The Don Cossacks were a unique group within the Russian Empire. They lived in the fertile region surrounding the Don River in southern Russia. Historically, they enjoyed a degree of autonomy. This was granted in exchange for military service to the Tsars. They developed a distinct culture. It was deeply tied to horsemanship. Military traditions were central. Loyalty to the Tsar and the Orthodox Church was important. Their connection to the land was profound. They were largely self-governing farming communities called stanitsas. Tatarsky Khutor, the home of the main characters, is one such community. However, the early 20th century brought immense change. Social tensions were rising across Russia. The Cossacks themselves were not monolithic. There were divisions between wealthy officers and poorer Cossacks. World War I shattered the old order. Cossack regiments suffered heavy losses. Disillusionment with the Tsarist regime grew. The February Revolution of 1917 overthrew the Tsar. The October Revolution later that year brought the Bolsheviks to power. These events tore Cossack society apart. Some supported the old regime or a form of autonomy, joining the White Movement. Others were drawn to the promises of land and equality offered by the Bolsheviks, joining the Red Army. The resulting Russian Civil War was particularly vicious in the Don region. Brother fought against brother. Communities were ravaged. The traditional Cossack world was irrevocably broken. Sholokhov captures this historical maelstrom with unflinching detail. He shows how grand political events translate into personal tragedy and brutal choices. Literarily, and Quiet Flows. The Don belongs to the tradition of the Russian epic novel. It echoes Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace in its scale. It blends personal stories with sweeping historical events. It focuses on the life of a family against a backdrop of national crisis. However, Sholokhov wrote during the Soviet period. His work is often discussed in relation to socialist realism. This was the officially sanctioned literary style. Socialist realism typically demanded positive heroes. It required clear ideological messages supporting the communist cause. Sholokhov's novel is far more complex and ambiguous than simple doctrine allowed. Its central character, Grigory Melekhov, is deeply flawed and contradictory. He never fully embraces the Bolshevik cause. The novel depicts the suffering caused by the revolution with stark realism. It portrays atrocities committed by both Reds and Whites. This complexity led to debates about its ideological correctness during the Soviet era. There was also a long-standing controversy regarding the novel's authorship. Some critics suggested the text was based on an earlier manuscript by a white Cossack author, Fyodor Kryukov. However, extensive scholarship, including manuscript analysis, largely supports Sholokhov's authorship. The novel's enduring power lies in its rich characterizations. Its lyrical descriptions of nature are striking. Its honest portrayal of a turbulent era transcends political categorization. The heart of the novel is the story of Grigory Melekhov and his family. They live in the Khutor of Tatarsky on the banks of the Don. Grigory is the younger son of Panteley Prokofievich Melekhov. Panteley is a stern but respected Cossack farmer. Grigory is passionate, proud, and restless. He possesses a fiery temper and a deep connection to Cossack traditions. Yet, he also questions the world around him. His life becomes defined by conflict. This includes personal, romantic conflict. It also involves the larger military and political conflicts of his time. Early in the novel, Grigory begins a passionate and forbidden affair. His love is Aksiniya Ostakova. She is the beautiful wife of his neighbor, Stepan Ostakov. Their love is intense and consuming. It defies the strict social codes of the Kutur. Panteley forces Grigory to end the affair. He arranges Grigory's marriage to Natalia Korshunova. Natalia is a gentle and virtuous young woman from a wealthy Cossack family. Grigory marries Natalia. He respects her goodness, but he cannot forget Aksiniya. His inability to commit fully to either woman causes immense pain to all three. It shapes much of his personal drama throughout the novel. Soon after his marriage, Grigory is called up for military service. World War I begins. He serves in the Tsarist army on the Austro-Hungarian front. Grigory proves to be a brave and capable soldier. He earns medals for valor. He rises through the ranks. However, the war exposes him to unimaginable brutality and suffering. He witnesses the incompetence of the Tsarist leadership. He sees the senseless slaughter in the trenches. This experience begins his disillusionment with the old order. He encounters Bolshevik ideas through fellow soldiers like Bunchuk. These ideas resonate with his growing sense of injustice. The war hardens Grigory. It leaves lasting scars on his psyche. Grigory returns home to Tatarsky during the turmoil following the February Revolution. The Don region is in chaos. The Cossacks are divided. Some, like Grigory's older brother Petro, remain loyal to traditional Cossack values. They align themselves with the emerging white forces. Others, like Mishka Koshevoy, embrace the Bolshevik Revolution. They see it as a chance for liberation from the old hierarchies. Grigory finds himself caught in the middle. His experiences in the war have made him critical of the old regime. Yet, his Cossack identity and loyalty to his community pull him towards the whites. He is particularly opposed to Bolshevik policies regarding land redistribution and their perceived threat to Cossack autonomy. Initially, Grigory fights for the whites. He becomes a respected officer. He witnesses the cruelty and arrogance of some white leaders. He becomes disillusioned with their cause as well. The Russian Civil War forms the central and most devastating part of the narrative. Grigory's life becomes a painful cycle of fighting, disillusionment, and shifting allegiances. He fights fiercely for the whites. Then, disgusted by their actions or seeking a different path, he briefly joins the Red Army. He finds brutality and dogmatism among the Reds too. He deserts and tries to live peacefully. But the conflict inevitably draws him back in. He leads Cossack uprisings against the Bolsheviks. He fights again with the whites. Grigory is not driven by firm political conviction. He is searching for truth and justice in a world consumed by hatred and violence. He is loyal to his fellow Cossacks, but he sees the flaws on both sides. His vacillation reflects the tragic position of many Don Cossacks. They were caught between two powerful forces tearing their world apart. Sholokhov portrays the Civil War with brutal honesty. He shows the massacres, the executions, the burning of villages. He depicts the suffering of ordinary people caught in the crossfire. The war exacts a terrible toll on the Melekhov family and the Tatarsky community. Grigory's father, Panteley, dies partly from grief and hardship. His brother Petro, fighting for the whites, is captured and executed by the Reds, specifically by Mishka Koshevoy, a former neighbor. Petro's wife Daria suffers greatly and eventually drowns herself. Grigory's wife Natalia endures his infidelity and long absences. She remains devoted to him. She bears him 2 children. Tragically, Natalia dies following a self-induced abortion. She undertakes this desperate act after learning Grigory has again left her for Aksinia. Her death is a profound blow to Grigory. He recognizes too late her quiet strength and unwavering love. Grigory's relationship with Aksinia continues its tumultuous course. They live together for periods when Grigory abandons Natalia. Aksinia also suffers greatly during the war. She loses her child with Grigory. She endures hardship and displacement. For a time, separated from Grigory, she has a relationship with a white officer. Yet, her love for Grigory remains the central force in her life. Towards the end of the war, with the white cause collapsing, Grigory and Aksinia attempt to flee together. They hope to find a new life somewhere far away. During their escape, Aksinia is shot and killed by Red soldiers. Her death marks the final crushing loss for Grigory. It extinguishes his last hope for personal happiness. As the civil war ends with a Bolshevik victory, Grigory is a broken man. He has lost his family, his lovers, his comrades, and his home. He briefly joins a bandit group but finds no solace there. He is utterly weary of war and killing. He is stripped of all illusions and political ideals. He yearns only for peace and a return to the land. The novel concludes with Grigory returning secretly to Tatarsky. His home is destroyed. The old way of life is gone forever. The only remaining piece of his former life is his young son, Mishatka, Natalia's child. The final iconic image shows Grigory standing by the ruins of his house. He holds his son in his arms. He looks towards the future with uncertainty and profound sorrow. This ending offers no easy resolution. It underscores the immense human cost of revolution and war. It suggests a fragile hope embodied in the next generation, but it is overshadowed by the weight of loss. Several key themes resonate throughout, and quiet flows the Don. The destructive power of passionate love is central. Grigory's relationships with Aksinia and Natalia drive much of the plot. They highlight the conflict between personal desire and social convention. War and violence are depicted relentlessly. Sholokhov shows their brutalizing effect on individuals and communities. He strips away any romantic notions of combat. The clash between tradition and change is fundamental. The novel laments the destruction of the unique Don Cossack culture. It portrays the painful transition to a new social order. Loyalty and betrayal are explored through Grigory's shifting allegiances. They are also seen in the actions of characters like Mishka Koshevoy. The war forces impossible choices and breaks traditional bonds. Grigory's journey is a search for identity and justice. He struggles to find his place in a world turned upside down. His quest remains ultimately unfulfilled. Finally, the deep connection between the Cossacks and their land is ever present. The Don River flows through the narrative. It serves as a silent witness to the unfolding human drama. The descriptions of nature provide moments of lyrical beauty amidst the surrounding violence. The characters are complex and memorable. Grigory Melekhov is one of literature's great tragic figures. He is neither a hero nor a villain. He is a man of strong passions and deep contradictions. He is capable of both great love and cruelty. His struggles embody the suffering of a generation caught in historical catastrophe. Aksinia Ostakova is a powerful female character. She represents passionate, untamed love. She defies social norms. She displays remarkable resilience in the face of suffering. Natalia Melekhova contrasts sharply with Aksinia. She embodies traditional virtues. Loyalty, patience, and quiet suffering define her. Her tragic fate highlights the suffering of women in the conflict. Other characters enrich the tapestry. Panteley represents the old Cossack patriarchy. Petro embodies straightforward loyalty. Dunya, Grigory's sister, shows resilience. Mishka Koshevoy represents the ruthless certainty of the Bolshevik cause. Each reflects different facets of Cossack society and the choices people made during the revolution. Mikhail Sholokhov's style is characterized by its realism and detail. He vividly portrays the daily life, customs, and dialect of the Don Cossacks. His descriptions of the natural world, particularly the Don River and the steppe landscape, are lyrical and evocative. The novel's epic scope successfully integrates the personal lives of its characters with the grand sweep of historical events. Despite its length and complexity, the narrative maintains a powerful momentum and quiet flows. The Don remains a significant work. It offers a profound and moving account of human experience during one of the most turbulent periods in modern history. Its exploration of love, war, loss, and the search for meaning continues to resonate with readers worldwide. The final image of Grigory Melekhov, holding his son amidst the ruins of his past, serves as a timeless symbol. It represents the enduring human spirit facing an uncertain future after immense destruction and loss.